International cyberspies have reportedly penetrated America's electrical grid, leaving behind technological landmines that could bring down the system. Now, this report out of the Wall Street Journal says it's no amateur job. The attacks are apparently the work of spies from countries like Russia and China and have left the U.S. scrambling to tighten infrastructure security. Evan Coleman is an NBC terrorism analyst, and he joins us here right now. Evan, this report indicates that these kind of cyberspace intrusions are increasing. What can you tell us about them, and how worried are you as a terrorism expert about something like this?
Well, it's a good news, bad news scenario here. The bad news is that we do have individuals and groups who are managing to penetrate U.S. security and are leaving behind traps, Trojans, potentially, inside the U.S. electrical system, potentially in other sensitive systems here inside the United States, in order for them to monkey around with them later on. Now, the good news is that they're not monkeying with them right now. They appear to be just mapping the system. And as far as international terrorist groups go, there doesn't seem to be an involvement by them. It seems to be more state actors, Russia, China. What we're worried about is that...
What would be the worst-case scenario here?
Well,
I mean, what do people have to worry about?
Well, I think the worst-case scenario, and what we're worried about, is that right now we're talking about state actors, Russia, China. The Chinese are not about to start attacking U.S. infrastructure. They need the value of the dollar to stay constant. But what happens if these same kind of capabilities fall into the hands of non-state actors, terrorist organizations,
right.
Al-Qaeda? And as the sophistication of particular individuals grows in terms of invading U.S. cyber turf and taking control of it, the worry is that you're going to have someone come up who doesn't have the limitations of a state actor, who isn't being told, don't do this or just do this.
Yeah.
And they, who knows what they'll do.
What they could be capable of.
Yeah.
Is enough being done to protect the systems here in the U.S.? Can enough be done when you've got a creative hacker?
Well, I mean, unfortunately, the philosophy so far, heretofore, has been we're just going to close all doors. We're going to seal all doors. We're going to lock the locks. But the problem is with sophisticated hackers, with well-trained hackers, that's just an invitation for them to come in and wreak mayhem. I mean, they're looking for a challenge like that. So I think the problem is that right now we're not putting the same amount of focus on this that the Russians and the Chinese are, and maybe it's time that we do that.
All right, Evan Coleman, great information. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
I'm not a crook.